I'm here to tell you how you can become a medical coder in 2022. Becoming a medical coder means that you work with doctors and healthcare professionals to look at medical records and translate them into various code sets, abstracting the diagnoses, the procedures, the services, and converting them. This way, clinicians can focus on patient care and assure that all of the medical claims that are going to insurance are being done accurately. Medical coding is a very lucrative career, and even though there are some changes happening in the industry, and actually there's changes that happen a lot in the industry, it's healthcare, and we'll talk about that, it is still growing as a profession. This video will walk you through the 6 steps that you need to take to become a medical coder, and stick around to the end because I'll even give you some resources on how to land that first job. Hey everyone, I'm Victoria. I'm a medical coder, auditor, educator, and content creator, and on my channel I provide tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you be successful in a medical coding career. I would highly encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell because you want to get alerts when I post new episodes. Now, the very first thing you want to do if you are interested in becoming a medical coder is researching to make sure that this job is the right fit for you. Medical coding is a very work from home heavy industry, but that doesn't mean that all of the jobs are work from home, although all of them typically have a Monday through Friday set business hour schedule. A lot of the organizations, like the insurance companies, the healthcare organizations, they're going to give you great pay, they're going to give you great benefits, and this industry just has a lot of career opportunity. It does require a lot of reading because you have to continually be reading through medical records and analyzing them, noticing little details, and deciphering little differences based off of all of the different coding guidelines that we have. Sometimes they're a little bit gray, so you have to almost read between the lines or research some deeper guidelines. And you have to understand medical concepts so that you can increase your productivity, because medical coding is very productivity and very accuracy based. And just like everything in healthcare, there are constant changes. So this is a really good field for people who are problem solvers and constant learners versus someone who wants to just learn that skill once and kind of have it carry throughout their career. Every year there's hundreds of changes to the codes themselves. There's changes all the times to the guidelines, to federal regulations. You have to be a member to be a medical coder because they want you to be certified in most cases. If you want to know more about the costs of being a medical coder, you can actually check out this video over here, and that will give you a better idea of some of the costs associated. You will hear people talk about the cost of being a medical coder, like having to pay for their membership dues, but one of the more common complaints that you will hear a lot is that people have trouble getting that first job. And honestly, social media is filled with tons of people who have spent tens of thousands of dollars and invested years of their life in getting a bachelor's degree, but then can't find an entry-level job in their field. And you can even check out the salaries of medical coders in your area. I will link below the AAPC salary calculator where it will tell you kind of the average salaries of medical coders based off of years of experience in your area. Now, the next step after you figured out, yes, this is what I want to do, is figure out what type of medical coding you want to do and what certification you'd like to obtain with which organization. The 2 main organizations that I recommend are AAPC or AHIMA because those are the ones employers are looking for. Nothing against the other organizations out there, but if you want to be marketable to an employer, you want a certification through AAPC or AHIMA. I break down the differences between those organizations and their certifications in this video here. There are different types of medical coding with different code sets that you might work for, so you want to know what you are targeting so that you get the right education to get that certification. But essentially there's 4 main types of coding. There's professional fee coding, so coding for services that are provided by physicians and physician extenders like PAs, CRNPs. So things like surgeries that are provided by a surgeon or a visit to your family provider. Then there is outpatient coding. Outpatient coding is coding for services that are rendered in an outpatient clinic. And then there is risk adjustment coding, which just works with ICD-10-CM and only certain sections of ICD-10-CM. ICD-10-CM is the diagnosis-based coding, and we're just targeting diagnoses that are recognized as having a higher cost with them. And then the 4th is inpatient coding. Inpatient coding probably has a higher starting salary, but you have to learn ICD-10 PCS, which is the procedural coding system, and DRGs. So you can't just go for professional fee coding, but then become an inpatient coder. So go to the AAPC website, go to the AHIMA website, kind of look at the differences between them. In most cases, people who want to go into a professional fee, risk adjustment, or outpatient coding, go to AAPC. And then AHIMA tends to target more for the inpatient coders. So now you know this is for you. You know what certification you want to get. The third step is to find an online school or training program. I actually partner with OnlineDegree.com because they help my viewers find the right school for them within their budget, within their timeline. And if you use my link here, you can actually save 10% on your education. I'll also include the link in the description below, but basically OnlineDegree.com has been formulated to help prepare you for basically any certification you want, and then you might just need like a practice exam or a study guide to confirm what you already know. Or you could just get your training directly from the AAPC or an AAPC approved instructor. Just keep in mind that because this is healthcare related, if you have no healthcare experience, you're going to have prerequisites to learn medical terminology and probably some anatomy and physiology as well. There are opportunities to self-study, so if you're a very motivated self-learner, you can check out this video here for all the resources I have for self-study. Keep in mind that self-study, though, does not mean free. You still have to purchase books, you still have to purchase your exams and your memberships and all kinds of other stuff in order to prepare yourself to get that certification to become a medical coder. So now our fourth step is to join that organization, pay for our membership, pay for the exam fee, and pass the examination. So say you're targeting the CPC certification, which is a good one to kind of default to if you're just undecided. You can go to the AAPC website, you have to become a member, you have to pay your examination fee. You can take the CPC online or in person. So once you take that, you pass it with a 70%, they will give you a certificate saying that you are a certified professional coder. And then recruiters can also look up your member ID number on the AAPC website and verify that you have passed the examination. So even though you have that certificate or that degree from your training organization, you need to pass the certification exam in order to become a certified coder, and most employers want to hire certified coders. Now, the fifth step is to update your resume with your credentials and your applicable skills. If you're not sure how to do that, I would definitely check out projectresume.net and tell them that I sent you, Victoria Moll, and they will be able to take the resume that you have and make it sparkle and shine. They know how to put the right keywords in there so that when it's being searched in a database by recruiters, that they can find that easily. But the biggest thing you can do when updating your resume is making sure that your name at the very top of your resume, so mine would be Victoria Moll, has your new credentials after it, that it has your name and that CPC or CCSP or CCS or whatever after it, so they can recognize that right away. And then the sixth and final tip to become a medical coder is to find a job. So look at your local hospitals. If you have a health insurance company near you, check them out. Check codersdirect.com, check out indeed.com, but search for the skill terms, not necessarily just the term medical coder, but things like ICD, which is the diagnosis coding, or look for CPT, and that will bring up all of the jobs that are looking for people who have those skills and those medical code sets. It's also important to network, so go to your local chapter meetings in person or online. If you're with the AAPC, they will by default give you whatever chapter is local to you. There's also chapters for AHIMA as well, so make sure you're connecting with all of those people that are near to you and say like, hey, I am looking for a medical coding job. I just passed my certification. Does anyone know of anything? Honestly, I've known a ton of coders that have gotten jobs through networking. And if you're certified through the AAPC and you went for the CPC or the COC, there's an apprenticeship designation for those certifications, which means that you have to get that apprenticeship status removed to become kind of a full-fledged coder for those certifications. So while you're looking for a job, that's probably a great time to also look at getting your apprenticeship status removed. I have a whole video about the apprenticeship status right up there and how you can get that A that will appear at the end of your credential removed. Typically it takes 2 years experience, but there are a few things that you can do in lieu of that. So one of them is what's called the Practicode, which is basically coding a whole bunch of medical records. So this is a great time to work on that. So those are the 6 steps to becoming a medical coder. Make sure it's the right job for you, research what type of coder you want to be and what certification you want, find a school, pass your exam, update your resume, and then find a job. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, definitely let me know in the comments below. I will also, again, link all the resources that I talked about there. And if you need more information about becoming a medical coder, I actually have an entire playlist just called Want to Become a Medical Coder? Start here, and you can check that out right there. I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, just keep on coding on.